Here's a little token that the company is going to give her as well. For all those online guests and for everybody coming, thank you. We will start the formal presentation in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and do the change of command. But to start off here with the award. So I don't want to kind of give away too much of the speech, Starlet, but the company, Boston Company, was completely virtual in 2017. And Starlet Baker and First Sergeant Whitaker come in to a company that had been virtual and is now trying to rebuild. Had a mission of just a few contracts during the previous year. And now all of a sudden they're rebuilding systems, they're rebuilding like physical footprints, bringing soldiers in from just a few soldiers, literally a few soldiers, to the height of 35 at one point, and overall about 47 total soldiers that she has brought through the company, mentored, and put into play. And then it's funny because it goes from virtual in 2017 to start and build a company in 2018, and then in 2019 the Secretary of the Army is like, we're going to create this Top 22 City Initiative, and Boston is going to be my #7 most important city in the United States. And everybody's like, holy crap, we're still trying to build this company. And this is the kind of environment that Starlet Baker was working in, and that she was the company commander for. And the 3 station commanders that we have here off of my right, the left, First Sergeant who's over on my left, right off camera. You know, because of COVID, we've only got a few people here in the room. We've got a lot of people online. But Starlet Baker has made a tremendous impact in a lot of people's lives. And she has led this company through a tumultuous period. She's led it through a period that others with lesser capability and with lesser fortitude would have buckled underneath that pressure. And they went from being literally non-existent, like number 50 in the brigade, because they had no mission really, to right now ranked number 3 in the brigade in small companies. And being just tied at number 2 in the battalion for the current year to date. And doing a lot of things that are just immeasurable. I would say the best family readiness group in the battalion, tremendous number of family activities, great support to the soldiers as far as mentoring them, training them, getting them off to schools. I mean, one of our station commanders just came back from his NCOES that they helped him get into. They do great on the Soldier of the Quarter, Soldier of the Month boards, and they do the intangibles that supplement and support the soldiers' lives and families, and then make sure that we're able to do the mission. And then you look at what Starlet did from a prospecting perspective. Like, prospecting is how you go out and build the relationships in the environment. You go from having a virtual company, nobody on the ground, to trying to get back into schools. She used the Students Take an Active Role program. In one high school, we enlisted 21 people in 1 year because we got into that school from nothing and started building relationships. And you've built relationships in at least 7 schools in the Boston public schools. You've built relationships with 3 ROTC programs, which are the 3 most important in our area: MIT, Boston University, and Northeastern, your school. It's been impressive. You've built relationships with Mr. Kincannon, the cost of the Civilian Aid Secretary of the Army. You facilitated a re-enlistment ceremony with the Chief of Staff of the Army at Patriot Stadium instead of no less than 48,000 people. You built relationships across the city, and you went out of your way to do that every single day. You did it through your XO. You trained her and mentored her, and both of those XOs are better for that and have helped you guys in Boston gain the connections that are needed to help these station commanders and those soldiers put people in the Army and help us regain our foothold in Boston and help eventually win the city of Boston. That's been awesome from a prospecting side. And then future soldiers, you just love your future soldiers. You just stay in touch with them, you train them, you talk to them, and they ship. You were number 1 in the brigade last year, in the company, in the battalion, number 1 in the brigade for the number of future soldiers who shipped off to basic training. That takes effort by the recruiters, by the station commanders, and by you personally to be vested in their lives, to making sure that they're going to ship out, to working through their issues with their families, to if they get in a little bit of trouble, we work through those trouble issues and get them shipping out later. You just did the intangibles. And you have a great program as a result. And a lot of soldiers out there in the Army right now know of Captain Starlet Baker. And they've talked to Captain Starlet Baker, and they know you took a personal interest in their lives. And so from coming from nothing as a Boston company to where we are sitting at today, that's what I'm going to talk about today in the speech. And that's what we're going to recognize today in the change of command. But you're going to receive an award right now because of those efforts. So with that said, will publish the orders.
Attention to orders. The Meritorious Service Medal is presented to Captain Starlett E. Baker, United States Army Recruiting Battalion, New England, for exceptional meritorious service while assigned as commander of the Boston Recruiting Company. Captain Baker's superb performance, selfless service, and dedication to duty are keeping with the finest traditions of military service, reflecting great credit upon her, the United States Army Recruiting Command, and the United States Army. From 29 November 2018 to 22 January 2021. Signed this 23rd day of November 2020, Kevin Vereen, Major General, United States Army, commanding.
Anything before your official speech?
Sir, I think that I really can't follow up after that. Definitely appreciate it from your mentorship, sir. Sergeant Major Fraggio, you and I spoke earlier. Absolutely. Station commanders, First Sergeant, XOs, Captain Hayes, Captain Salmonson. Incredible. I've said it before, and I'll say it time and time again. You're only as strong as your support system. And with you guys, I've had one hell of a support system over the last 2 years. Commanders, fellow First Sergeants, thank you for making this so much fun. All right? Thank you for the sanity checks. And overall, I love what I do. I enjoy this profession, probably to a fault sometimes. But thank you for this very much. I can't do this without you guys.
Okay. And we're going to diverge from the normal procedures before we start this change of command. We have an informal gift that your First Sergeant and XOs would like to present on behalf of the team. So for everybody online, thank you for attending. We're about ready to get started in a few minutes here. First Sergeant, Station Commanders.
So it's been such a pleasure working for you and working with all of you. Yeah, we're just quite a team. So I came here 2019 in February, and in April we had Meet Your Army Boston, and it was my first time really working with Captain Baker, and like what a force. She just got her Army Greens, and she just stormed Fenway and got us onto the Green Monster and her Greens for photo shoot, and it was just, after that day, I remember thinking like, all right, cool, this is gonna be awesome. We can do this. We're gonna win Boston. So on behalf of the company, we wanted to give you this. It has some photos of your experiences here, of the Dream Team, which Captain Baker, her mantra is feed the beast. And so with that, we wanted to make sure you were well fed. So here's a little something as well. And of course, something to read while you can see that. But I wanted you guys to talk as well. All right, I've only been working with Captain Baker now since September, but in that short time period, I can honestly say that she's one of the best commanders I've ever worked for. Never have I actually felt the need and compelled to work for somebody so hard. She's an awesome commander, and she looks out for my needs better than I look out for my own needs, while also telling me what to do. It's an incredible, weird partnership. So I really appreciate you, ma'am, and everything you've done.
Ma'am, wow, it's been a crazy 2 years, that's for sure. Colonel Barbina already said it. All the moving parts and different stuff that's going on. Woo, we've been on the phone at all hours of the day and night, long days, long nights, different stuff. It was a great time, but we really balanced each other out with your prior experience that you had, my knowledge of recruiting. We sat down and wrote so much stuff on a whiteboard, trying to figure out which way to go, when to go left, when to go right, but we got to figure it out, and these guys are all making it happen, and we can't thank you enough for taking care of all the soldiers and everybody else that when we needed something, you're always there, so thank you. If you guys have anything, so.
Go ahead, Bias. Make it quick. So, when you impact my family, my house, and my wife and my kids as a company commander, you're doing the right thing. That's all I got to say about Captain Baker. I mean, when she calls, my kid's like, oh, Daddy, what do you do? So, yeah, so my wife is supportive of the FRG, as we have said before. It's because of you. So you got her motivated to come in. She spoke to Mrs. Barbina, and now she's all about the mission, the soldiers first. So thank you for that, ma'am. Chill.
So, I just want to say thank you, ma'am. Really, never met a company commander that actually took care of the soldiers and families. He said so much like you do, really. And we're definitely gonna miss you. And I wish you the best, man, in the future.
You know where she lives. So.
Yeah, you do.
We want those referrals from Northeastern.
That's the plan.
I just want to thank you for your guidance and helping me transition out here during the start of this entire COVID issue. You really helped move everything along, and and to get me out here and get me settled in, and help with the transition with through getting married and everything else.
Expecting a baby.
Yeah, expecting a baby. So I appreciate your help with all of that. It really means a lot. So thank you.
Here, we'll get a photo of you guys real quick.
Okay.
Just real quick.
All right.
You'll never have this photo again.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Let's do this ceremony. Okay, ladies and gentlemen online, we'll start this change of command ceremony in about 1 minute. Thank you for your patience. Please, everybody, keep your spacing as best you can with COVID and everything. We've got spaces over here too, gentlemen and ladies. If some folks want to be over here, you will not be in our way.
Thumbs up when you want to start. Good morning, and welcome to the Boston Recruiting Company Change of Command Ceremony, hosted by Commander of the New England Recruiting Battalion, Colonel Anthony Barbina. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Captain Hayes in the playing of the national anthem.
Dear God, we give thanks for the health and safety of the soldiers in Patriot Battalion, Boston Company, and their family members. We give thanks that Captain Baker has joined this battalion and left it such a better place. And we pray for her as she embarks on her next journey and chapter, as well as her family, Skylar, Brian, and Matthew. And we'd also like to pray for Captain Clark and First Sergeant Witt as Boston Company goes through this transition, and for the continued growth and success of this company and the health and safety. In his name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and friends of the New England Recruiting Battalion, on behalf of Colonel Barbina, thank you for attending today's change of command ceremony between Captain Starlet Baker and Captain Colin Clark. At this time, the official party will move forward for the change of command portion of the ceremony.
Forward, march. Left, 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 left. Mark time, march. Group, halt. Center, face.
The passing of the guidon is a time-honored tradition signifying the responsibility associated with command. In this ceremony, the First Sergeant Christopher Whitaker, representing the backbone of the company, hands a guidon to the outgoing commander, Captain Starlet Baker. The outgoing commander then passes the guidon to the battalion commander, Colonel Anthony Barbina, signifying the return of the responsibility of which she was entrusted upon assuming command. The battalion commander then passes the guidon to the incoming commander, Captain Colin C. Clark, thus demonstrating his confidence in the commander's ability to handle the responsibility of command and maintain the unit in which is disciplined and trained in the basics of soldiering. By the authority of paragraph 3-1B, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the Boston Recruiting Company, New England Recruiting Battalion. Signed, Colin C. Clark, Captain, Logistics, Commanding. Captain Clark returns the guidon to First Sergeant Whitaker, who entrusts the guidon to the company guidon bearer.
About face. Forward, march. Left, 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 left. Mark time, march. Halt. About face.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the New England Recruiting Battalion, Colonel Anthony Barbina.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dave. Dave O'Neill, our Master of Ceremonies today. Great work. To everybody here in the room today, we have, COVID constraints. We have online today Mr. Kincannon, our civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army. Sir, thank you very much for listening today. You've been a tremendous supporter of Boston Company. Colonel Dente, Sergeant Major Porter will also be listening in. Brigade Commander and Sergeant Major of the Brigade. We got Matt and Skylar Baker listening in. We've also got the rest of Starlet's family, between Joanne, Pam, and Rob. We already said Matt and Skylar, and a variety of other friends and family listening today. We've also got the Clark family listening in, between Chris and Cheryl Clark, Gloria, Celia, and then the Houston team out there, your family throughout Houston. For all those listening in that are representing, and thank you for Alexandra for being here today, Colin's wife. Just a lot of great people. I hear also we'll have some Dallas Recruiting Battalion folks listen in to today's change of command as they represent Colin Clark. I mean, there's just a lot of great folks in the room here today. There's a lot of great folks listening to that have been a big part of the Boston Company change of command. A change of command is a very important part in a company's history. This company especially so, as this company has gone from being a virtual company in 2017 to being where we brief today with 3 stations, soon to go to 5. And the company commander and first sergeant and XO are really at the company level the heart and soul of the company. So when a person changes out, that person has put their life, their heart, their soul into 2 to 3 years with that company. The company models and mirrors them a little bit. And now that change is really a relief in place, because you have Captain Colin Clark coming in here today, taking that guidon from Captain Starlet Baker and keeping things moving in the right direction. He takes the reins, he'll take hold today, and my challenge is to keep things moving. So when you look at what Captain Starlet Baker has done in this Boston company, the support that she has today with everybody trying to spread out as best they can in here, and everybody listening online, and everybody celebrating her, since she took over at the end of November and December of 2018, she has taken this company to new heights and made a huge mark. I told the story during the awards presentation. In 2017, this company was completely virtual. It was down to just a few people. In 2018, her and First Sergeant Whitaker take it on board, and they start rebuilding Boston one brick at a time. And I tell you, they've done that to today, January 2021, by focusing on the acronym Patriots. And I want to highlight some of the things that she has done, that this company is doing, using the acronyms. Where there's a tool called prospecting, the P. She is really taking that very, very, very as an important part. She has helped get back into schools. She's helped with the Students Taking an Active Role program. She's helped make connections, and she has made sure that they have gained 7% market share every single year, the first 2 years of her command. She hands it off to Colin on the same trajectory coming this year. She's aggressively trained so that her soldiers are better. She hits training. They do company training every single month. They have had 4 NCOs convert to 7 Romeo. 8 NCOs make it off to their NCOS, including one who just came back recently, Sergeant Reddington, as you heard him say in the awards presentation. 2 station commanders making it off to station commanders course. Lots of folks competing in the Soldier of the Quarter and Soldier of the Month boards. Her and First Sergeant Whitaker take that seriously, and it shows. Their retention rate is one of the tops in the entire brigade. She takes care of families and her teammates. You heard that during the awards, the informal awards presentation we did right ahead of time. They have the best FRG inside of the battalion. They teach others how at the station level these stations can do events, even amongst COVID, even with the craziness that we have going on around the world, and to stay safe. They are connecting with families and connecting with future soldiers, and they do it in a safe and successful way. And she has been a great leader in taking care of her teammates and soldiers during COVID. This has been difficult. Boston was one of the first areas in the nation impacted by COVID. Number 2 behind New York City. And we learned. We went through a lot of growing pains. And Starlet Baker, her first sergeant, the XO, and the station commanders in here in this room today were on the cutting edge of techniques, of TTPs to keep the soldiers safe, and ways to virtually work from home and telework, and just to keep making progress in our mission. So she recruits with a plan and a passion. She gets after it every single day. Like I said before, Boston Company went from number 50 of 50 in the brigade when she took over it to last week, they were number 3 out of small companies in the brigade in Operation Winter Warrior. You don't do that without having the passion, but you also don't do that without having a good plan. She's always had a plan. She's helped write the Win Boston plan as a top 22 city. We have to submit this white paper every single month, it feels like. And between Starlet Baker and her XO, they've always been the primary authors of that document, helping us with the other 2 companies win Boston itself. And it has become infectious. She integrates into her communities and schools the Eye of Patriots, the STAR program, the connection with schools, the winning the ROTCs. The things that she does are intangible, and the things that she has done are manifesting themselves for each of these guys in this room and gals in this room. And she's got to keep that up. And again, Colin, you'll take on some of these things, and you're just going to take them to the next level. She has really been one that owns the mission every single phase line. She fights for every single contract, and this company fights with for every single contract. I mean, they ask for more special favors than any other company in the world, and they scramble and they scratch and they fight for every single contract because they take their phase line mission seriously, their quarter mission seriously, and they take this recruiter patch that we're wearing, putting people in all volunteer force. Because she recruits with that plan, that passion, and she owns every single phase line. She has helped us tell the Army story, the T of Patriots. She has a great story herself. She got her XO in the newspaper telling her story as being a person from the New Hampshire and Massachusetts area. And she has just helped build that relationship through the civilian aid to the secretaries of the Army that we have, and has been somebody that day in and day out, whether it be the Chief of Staff of the Army, enlisting or re-enlisting some of our NCOs in this room, and some future soldiers swearing in, and all of them shipping out, the Chief of Staff of the Army in front of the entire Military Appreciation Day, 48,000 people in Patriot Stadium, and she's out there helping lead the way for events like this. And then she has always been good at setting and recruiting and achieving the recruiting objectives. Starlet couldn't do this without the help of her husband, Matt, without Skylar, without the family. They're listening in today, and everybody that's in the Baker family, thank you for dialing in. It has been tough, especially with the daycare and the things. I mean, Starlet is always running between her and Matt, get the kids at daycare. They have made a lot of sacrifices during COVID with no au pairs coming in on time, being delayed, all that stuff. You have made, as a family, the extra effort, the extra sacrifice, and she has paid it forward to the families of Boston Company by building connections, by being invested in their lives, like you heard some of the station commanders mention earlier, and by helping to make sure that we have a company and a battalion that's worthwhile to support and live in, and that has been awesome. And Matt, thank you for your help. Starlet is heading off to Northeastern. she is going to start serving what's called a graduate service obligation. She's going to go there and get her master's degree and pursue a future career, possibly legal, a few other things. She's kind of got ideas. But she's going to be in our footprint. She's going to be with the ROTC program. So we'll be staying in touch. We do expect you to keep sending us referrals. We still will be tapping into you to possibly talk to high schools. But enjoy your time. Take that education. Help it propel your Army career. I look forward to seeing you as a future G1 or as a battalion commander someday when I'm, a little bit older. And we look forward to see what you're going to do, Starlet. You and Matt, we wish you the best of luck in the future. So today we bring in our new commander. Our new commander, Captain Colin Clark, is no stranger to United States Army Recruiting Command. He is coming to us. He had just finished up his time in Louisville Recruiting Company in Dallas Battalion. He was an executive officer about a year ago and came here in the XO pilot program. He's been an armor cavalry scout. He's been a leader in combat. He has been one that has cut his teeth through military intelligence, armor, and logistics. He's been in 3 branches. And he is a sharp young man. His wife, Alexandra, great to have you on the team. Also motivated, intelligent, and looking to do some schooling here in the actual Boston area, and looking forward to getting snap linked in and connected with our families in the New England Recruiting Battalion and the Boston Recruiting Company. You have some big shoes to fill. The good thing is Starlet started from nothing. The company still has a way to go. She's got it in the right trajectory. You've got your first sergeant to my right. Everybody else on the screen's left. He's going to be your rock. He's going to be the one that'll coach you, train you up, and get you going, Colin. And you guys are going to continue crushing it. To everybody in Boston, put your full weight and support behind Captain Clark as he comes in and takes over as your commander. Work with him to keep getting after the things we just talked about that Captain Baker has put in place for your company. Patriots pride, winning matters. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for visiting.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander, Boston Recruiting Company, New England Recruiting Battalion, Captain Scarlett E. Baker.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. Let's see. Colonel Barbina and Sergeant Major Frazio, thank you for hosting today and for your continued support overall. Fellow company commanders, NCOs, staff, family, and friends, welcome and thank you for attending. To those out there in the virtual world, my mom, my husband and daughter who are able to watch it on TV today, I hope, sitting on the couch, nice and comfy. To my father and mother-in-law and other members of the family, I'm sure you wanted to be here, and friends, I absolutely appreciate the fact that you're able to dial in. Most importantly, though, to the NCOs and families of Boston Company who are watching remotely, thank you for taking time to be with us, even in spirit. NCOs, don't worry, you'll be able to eat soon. I promise. Captain Clark's got some stuff for you. All right. Wow, like I said earlier, the last 2 years, First Sergeant, station commanders. It's been incredible. It's been an adventure. I remember receiving a call one Sunday afternoon on March 11th at around 2 p.m., right? I just had my son, Bryant, about a month prior, not even a month prior. And I got asked the question, let me cut to the chase, Starlet. Do you want to be a commander in Boston Company in downtown to recruit? My immediate answer was, hell yeah. Let me do this. Let me own this. Let me take this next step in my career. Unfortunately, I didn't talk it over with my husband, but I did tell the person that I'd sorted out later. I think it worked out pretty well. He got the job that he loves. So I think we're doing okay. When officers and young lieutenants aim to be commanders one day, you kind of get the idea in your head of what type of commander that you want to be and in what company you wanted to be in command of. Recruiting was not on that list. Far from it. But when I got here, and I'll say this story time and time again, I met First Sergeant Whitaker, and I immediately found that spark, that drive, and something that just clicked, and I ran with it, and that spark seemed to catch fire. My passion for helping people fueled that fire, and I am forever grateful that I've had the honor to serve in this battalion as a Boston Company commander. Even in that market that was quote unquote too tough, or quote unquote, why did you do that to your career type market, implying that all you'll do is fail. To the NCOs of Boston Company, you are far from failing. You directly impacted and positively changed over 500 service members into the active duty and Army Reserve. A reoccurring event that happens whenever I visit stations is seeing that aha moment. We're seeing that light come on in somebody's heart and mind saying, you know what? I got this. I can do this, right? And it's the family members who are so incredibly proud of their new service member swearing in at MEPS or at the station. I remember one time at MEPS, I called for an applicant who was getting ready to swear in. I'll never forget this. And I said, hey, Mr. LeMay. And the applicant's father actually stood up. I smiled and I gently corrected him. And I said, sir, I'm actually calling for your son. I firsthand witnessed a change in that family and how they perceived their child. Between taking care of homeless in order to get him or her shipped off to training, showing a belief in someone that others dismissed because of a blip in their history, that's the success that you NCOs of Boston Company have achieved over the last 2 years of my command. And I thank you for that. Colin, you have an incredible team. One that has a passion for helping people. With your energy, even though you look like you just graduated high school yourself, you will experience more success than I have over the last 2 years. I promise you that. To Alex and Colin, to the both of you, the families of Boston Company are unwaveringly supportive of our NCOs and to each other. You will see that on a daily basis. Angela Whitaker, Carly Castillo, Jocelyn Cohan, Danielle Charlone, Kim Mickus, Casey Reddington, Lauren Pickard, Estefany Torres, and so many more. They accept each other as family, checking in, bringing food, late night calls when something goes wrong, or even bringing wine over during bingo night. Sometimes it's really needed. You have 5 expecting families inside of Boston Company, 1 who is soon to give birth in January. You're going to be busy, but it is going to be an incredible experience, and I hope that you have fun with it, as a couple and as leaders of this company. To the company commanders, past and present, thank you all for making this fun, like I was saying earlier. Colonel Barbina, you mentioned that you have a great group of company commanders. One time, whenever you were hearing stories about one of the other battalions and, finding a company commander, all that stuff, you were exactly right. We look out for each other, reaching out at any time of need, attending each other's birthday parties and just kind of hanging out for the holidays. Kids coming over, Carrie, wherever you're, okay, yep. And just overall supporting each other even though we're hours away and coming over to the house. Like, I can't imagine a better group of commanders to be serving with. Clark, Jamar, Moats, Matt, Alex, Carrie, James, Travis, Rozzy, Dave, Charlie. We lifted each other up any chance that we could, whether it was on call or off the call. Thank you for being there and helping me navigate through this command as best as I possibly could. Sergeant First Class Leon, Sergeant First Class Keyser, Sergeant First Class Arocho, Sergeant First Class Baez, Sergeant First Class McLaughlin, Sergeant First Class Mickus, Staff Sergeant Reddington, First Sergeant Whitaker, Captain Hayes, Captain Salmonson. Thank you all for being within arm's reach, literally at a moment's notice. Whether it was to knock out a tasking really quick, or to go to a women's breakfast for the Boston Chambers of Commerce, or to run and get food for the NCOs and for the VIPs at Sam Adams Brewery. Station commanders and first sergeant, you're the ones who drove this mission. You're the ones who see continued success, even if it took your every last breath. Took that quote from Sergeant Baez. You wanted to accomplish what was believed could not be done. I am forever grateful for your professionalism and dedication, even with the everyday setbacks we all know throughout USAREC. To Colonel Wandler, Colonel Cushing, Colonel Dente, thank you for allowing me to serve in 1st Brigade. To Colonel Anzalone and Colonel Barbina, thank you for that mentorship and the working through many challenges that is being a USAREC commander. I appreciate that both personally and professionally. Always pushing to cross the finish line. To the Sergeants Major, Hernandez, Garcia, Merrill, Brandt, and Frazio, I appreciate the additional senior NCO mentorship that you provided. And don't worry, Sergeant Major Brandt, wherever you went, now that I'm out, you shouldn't have to dig into First Sergeant too much about making mission, because now that I'm gone, should be good. And your IPR should go much more smoothly now that I'm not going to flip out about Q&E on the floor getting the job the next day after the phase line. I promise it should go a lot better. To Boston and the Patriots across the New England Battalion, even though I was the commander, I thank you for leading me when I needed it and helping me develop into a stronger officer and getting me ready for my next step in my career. Lastly, and most importantly, to my family, Matt, Skylar, and Bryant, thank you so much for your support. Again, the day-to-day, I strongly believe that you are only as strong your support system. And Matt, your patience has been tested over and over again, but I thank you for your continued patience and your perseverance, really, to make things work. Like I've told you 1,000 times now, thank you for staying. You are my rock, believe it or not, and you and the kids are my world. I appreciate your patience and my love to serve, like I was mentioning earlier. Skylar, I should not be on calls as much anymore, so I can listen to your stories and read as often as you would like. And it looks like you, me, and Bryant are going to be doing a lot of homework together over the next 18 months. Definitely love you guys with all my heart. Patriots pride, Patriots win. Always your very best. Minuteman 6 signing off.
Well done, Captain Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of Boston Recruiting Company, New England Recruiting Battalion, Captain Colin C. Clark.
Good morning. Colonel Barbina, Command Sergeant Major Frazio, thank you for making all of this possible. Distinguished guests, company commanders, fellow officers, First Sergeant, NCOs, staff, family and friends, thank you for being here today, whether in person or online. I am grateful for your continuous support. I will make this relatively short, seeing how most of my family and friends back home in the Central Time Zone are itching to get back into bed. My name is Captain Clark, and with the superb team here in the building, along with those watching online, the pursuit of continuing to win Boston starts here. First off, I'd like to thank God. He is the one that I look up to, for all the blessings and challenges he sends my way. Colonel Barbina, Command Sergeant Major Frazio, and all senior leaders, thank you for your trust and confidence in my ability to take this command, and of taking command of such a great company. I am both humbled and eager to take on this assignment. I consider myself extremely fortunate for this opportunity and am excited to be a part of this motivated team. I'm ready to leverage my previous experience and knowledge gained throughout my career to the unit's advantage. I also look forward to contributing my leadership skills, professionalism, and passion for this organization's betterment and success. I am passionate about the USAREC mission and acknowledge I still have much to learn. But I will work hard to develop myself and others around me. I'd also like to thank Starlet and Matt for everything they have done for Alexandra and me during the swift transition. Thank you for showing us a bit of Southern hospitality up here in the north. We needed that. Alexandra and I would like to wish you and your family the best of luck as you continue your career at here in Massachusetts. To the Boston Recruiting Company team, First Sergeant Whitaker, Captain Solmonson, Sergeant First Class Arocho, Sergeant First Class Baez, Staff Sergeant Reddington, and all the dedicated NCOs watching online. Alexandra and I are honored to serve alongside you. We are proud to return to USAREC and look forward to maintaining the outstanding reputation that Boston Company is known to have. We are eager to get to know every one of you and your family. Alexandra, my beautiful and loving wife, thank you for always unconditionally sticking by my side. You are phenomenally my best friend and a gorgeous lover, all in one. Who could ask for more? No one could ever do it like you did. Thank you so much for always being there for me, and when the going gets tough, being by my side. I would not be here today if it wasn't for you. I love you. Thank you. Again, to my wonderful wife, family members watching back home, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my in-laws, and my grandmother, along with all the fellow soldiers that I served with and friends who are watching online. Thank you for your endless love and support. I would not be the person I am today without all of you in my corner. Lastly, Boston Company. Our collective efforts are critical to ensure that we continue to bring future warriors into the world's greatest army. I look forward to serving with each and every one of you and continuing to make Boston Company great. Thank you very much. Patriots win. Your very best. Minuteman 6 signing on. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Clark, and welcome to New England. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Army Song.
Sir, this concludes today's ceremony. Great ceremony. Take charge of the company.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the change of command ceremony. Please greet Captain Baker at the podium to wish her well. You're all invited to attend Captain Clark's reception here at the battalion headquarters.